late. That's okay. My cats dug up a plant. Tried to do a dump run too. They don't open till 9. So here we are. I had a couple pieces of bread so my tummy wouldn't growl. It was bothering some people last time. Oh, it's lip repair. Okay. Happy almost 4th of July. Happy almost Independence Day. The world is not on fire here, so keep it nice. Look, I got my American flag mug. I love this thing. Good morning, Jeannie. Oh, that's nice and warm and hot and ready to go. Okay. Hello, Lisa. This 8:30 time slot is so much easier. I don't have my... Hello, Roseanne. Hi. I'm ready for some Monday makeup. So hello, how are you? I'm Amanda. We're gonna play with Saint makeup today. Saint still has their sale going. It's a last chance sale. Hello, Anne. Good morning. I'm still in the clouds here in Oregon. Still in the clouds. It's supposed to be nice and warm. Good morning, Alice. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, yay. Everybody's getting here. Let's hope that the others don't, you know, those ones. All right. I did a box opening last week with, I kind of wanted to try this and I forgot to bring some water in, and that cup's questionable. I don't really have a cup. I have a Christmas cup, but if Brittany hops on, she's gonna be real mad. All right, so please, let's see. Once I get more people here, I'll talk about subscribing and stuff. But we're gonna do our makeup. If there's anything anybody wants to see, let me know. I did get my Beauty Society beauty box, and it had some real goodies. My daughter loves the beach towel. Took it to swim team practice. She says it's soft. She loved it. The beauty boxes are really fun. They come out quarterly, so the next one comes out in September. They always have something in it that you can't buy, which is fun. This time it was a lip oil. This thing is so pretty. This is the color Retro. It is a classic 90s lip color. Here's my question for people. What do you consider retro? Because I don't consider 90s retro, and maybe that's... Retro to me is like the 50s, the 60s, like the blues and that kind of stuff. But that's what I think. So please subscribe, please like, please share, please turn on notifications. I did finally pick a favorite out of all 4 of these. And I went and I bought the full size, and it's in my car. It's been in my car for a couple days. But I can tell you which one out of the 4, there was one clear winner. One clear winner out of this whole thing. I noticed that every single one of the others, not the one I picked, but the ones of the others, they didn't thicken the same. They didn't stay the same. There was a lot of transfer, and I was in the heat this weekend. I went to a birthday party. It was super hot, and I noticed, now I have pretty prominent cheekbones, and so when I smile, I think that the lashes can hit. I don't know. I had a lot of transfer on some, a lot of fallout on some, and it just, I don't like that, because if you have maturing skin or mature skin and your mascara transfers, it makes your eyes look more mature. It just deepens them. It accentuates the fine lines because they migrate there. So it just, and so when you smile in pictures, your eyes show that. And so there's a few things that I do now to help with that, and I'm going to talk about it. But if there's anything anybody wants to see, let me know. The last chance sale is going until the end of July. Hit it up, look at it, because Saint is already super affordable, and now there's items that are 50% off. So $7 for an eyeshadow is a really, the formula, I'm telling you, if you don't have Foxy, go get Foxy. It's such a beautiful brown shimmer. I'm surprised Hot Chocolate's not leaving and Foxy is staying, because I do feel like they're the same but with a different consistency. Hot Chocolate has a lot more chunky flecks in it, whereas Foxy is really smooth and really great for every eye type. All right, so I talk about Saint makeup. I don't know if you've gathered that. So I do. Good morning, Shelly. Good morning, Grace. All right, I use Saint makeup, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. It is a really great, affordable, 100% customizable, and you can make this whatever you want. You don't have to get a big palette like this. I did make a video of what's in my triple decker palette. I just have to edit it. It needs a lot of editing. And I was massive chicken lady this weekend. Excuse me. I have added chickens to our bunch. We've got 10 baby chicks in the garage right now. My girls are obsessed with them. And yeah. All right. Hello, Gemma. Okay. Let's do our makeup. We're going to do our eyes first. I'm going to put on my eye cream. In the beauty box was a full-size eye cream. Now, I like this stuff so much. I have now 3 in my makeup room and 1 upstairs in my bathroom. All right, and so this stuff is so great. You just get a little, I don't even do a full pump. You don't need a full pump of this. And the doe foot is cold, it's metal, and it's nice. And I always start here. This is where we start. You want something really nice. I like this for mornings. It's caffeinated. I know one gal who's very affected by caffeine, and she can't even use caffeine-infused skincare at night. That's wild to me. But there is that. Okay, so we just press this on. This helps with what is it? I can't think of the words now, but it helps with inflammation. It helps with hydration. If you put on eye creams and you notice your concealers crease, this guy is good. I use a different eye cream at night. I use Immortalize if you're a Beauty Society lover. I use Immortalize at night. That was my one and done for a long time until I tried this bad boy. And I'm not going to lie, the packaging, the doe foot sold me before the product. And now I get really bummed when I forget this part. But it's so good. But Immortalize was my morning and evening for a long time until I used this. And now I keep a lot. I mean, before I got the one in the beauty box, I already had 3. I do have a link in the description. There is a link for this specifically. You can get I try to link absolutely everything, and this is one. And then once I get this nice and massaged in, I do use my fingers to give it a last, and you always want to use the ring finger. This is your weakest finger, and so it puts less pressure on your under eye, so you want to just give everything a little massage. I like to really focus. I know a lot of people are like, oh, your crow's feet out here, or oh, my crow's feet. This is where everybody's focusing. Focus here, because that's where we're scrunching, and like you want to get that up and in there. So don't forget things. Any excess skincare, eye cream, face cream, whatever, I always put it on my hands and then bring it down your neck always, because those are the things that are gonna get you. Your hands and your neck. Have you ever watched somebody and they just have the most beautiful skin, and then all of a sudden the mid-neck and it's just Raisin City? Don't forget to bring it down. Bring it down your chest, for heaven's sake. Like, do it. Okay, but yes, there is a link for that. It is so nice, and it makes you feel fancy. And I like feeling fancy. And I want to start off by saying I like makeup. I like makeup. It makes me feel good, and makeup is for us. It's not for anybody else. So if anybody's here to say it's not, you're on the wrong YouTube channel. Wrong channel. Okay. I'm going to use my eye primer and my BK Beauty brush. Also, both are linked. I like this better than the Too Faced. I was a big Too Faced eye primer, and then I tried this bad boy, and it's so good. Okay, so we're gonna just tap this on this. I need to get more. I've got 2 weddings already next summer, so I know I'm gonna need to get more, at least for that one. Nothing this summer, thank goodness. I have my own. I am not my wedding, but my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are getting married. And so I get to be makeup girl for my own family, for myself, my daughters, and my mother-in-law. All right. It's not, oh no, is this about makeup is for, we wear it for you? That is, I would love to be in the mindset of somebody that's like, look at what all these people are doing for me. She got dressed for me, she did her hair for me, and look at the way she did her makeup for me. I would love to be in the mindset of thinking that as I walk into a restaurant, a coffee house, a grocery store, to think that all these women got dressed for the day to impress me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being that fella? I know why you put your makeup on. Anyways, okay. So we press this on. I bring this, what's really nice about this, so this is Senjance Shadow Sense. I use the color Candlelight. And this is a really great primer because one, your eyeshadow won't crease all day and into the evening. So you can get through your work day. You can get through your nonsense. You can be in the heat and you do not have to worry about your eyeshadow. Face is different. Makeup will always move if you're if you're in hot heat, humid heat, dry heat. Makeup is makeup, and it's going to have an effect on the temperature of your skin, of the sun. It is. But eyeshadow, this primer, I'm telling you, is the one thing you won't have to worry about, and it also cancels out discoloration. I use Babe Lash Serum, also linked, and it gives amazing length. If you're thinking it's going to regrow lost hair, I just don't think it does. It does, but the right mascara can help with volume, whereas the right serum can help with length, and both can be together and work great together, and I think they should. But they do create discoloration on your lids, and then as you get older, of course, you get discoloration naturally, and this cancels it out, and I go from lash to brow. And I always do my eyes first because any fallout is going to get mixed into your makeup, and just like I was talking about with mascara primer or mascara transfer, it's going to affect the way you look in general. It's going to make your eyes look a little more deep set. It's going to enhance any fine lines, and disregard all wardrobe, by the way. I am going to the dump. I am building a coffee table. I am putting together a water table. Like, I'm doing things today, so we're dressed like a slob. So aloha. All right, we're going to go into our eyeshadows, and I want to play with some of the colors that are part of the last chance. So at the end of July, the 31st, last chance items are going to be gone for good. They are eliminating them. They are gone, but they're 50% off right now. There's illuminators, and I love them. They're so, I'm really hoping, and I don't know for sure. I haven't been told one way or another. I haven't even asked if they're going to come back as eyeshadows. I would bet so, because they're so good. And if you have a wedding this summer, you want to get Georgia. Don't get Goldie. Nobody should buy Goldie. It'll always come broken. I've never gotten one that's intact. But Georgia is the same. I don't know why they had both, but they do. Okay? So, yes, thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe. Please like. Please do the things. I would love to have you here. I do short form videos. Mondays are long. We're going to be here a while. But these illuminators, I'm going to use them today. But if you have a wedding or a bridal shower, Georgia is so pretty for a bridesmaid, for a guest at a bridal shower, for a guest at a wedding. And Glamazing, if you are a bride, gonna be a bride, that is your bridal shimmer. All the inspo you see on the Pinterest and on the Google or whatever you're looking at it on, Glamazing is the color. Okay, oh, I didn't turn my Do Not Disturb off. Stand by. There we go. Okay, sorry, I had to hit the Do Not Disturb because people call, and my hair. This is not a hair tutorial. Never is when it looks like this. Oh my gosh. All right, but again, I'm a worker today. Okay, we're gonna go into the eyeshadows. These are $14, and you can customize your own flippin' palette. And once the sale is done, I'm gonna dig in to our pigments once the sale is over. But until then, okay, you hope they bring the highlights back as shadow. Yes, because they're so good. And also, I'm still surprised we're keeping Drift, Rome, and Sabrina. They're all the same almost. Like, why do we need... Anyways, I'm not going to get into it, but I am going to prep my lids, and I'm going to use Paris. I think it's so pretty. It's a bright pink, and it looks great on all skin tones, even deep skin tones. It makes a great base to really punch things up, but also a great pop if you're wanting to add some pop to your color. All right, they are basically the same. Okay, so we're just going to go in, and I'm using my BK Beauty 203. It's worn off, but it looks like it was a 3, and it is linked. So my primer and this brush are linked. I don't think that getting I love the BK Beauty brushes, and I think they do work well with certain makeup. This is my favorite brush out of every brush at BK Beauty. This is the brush I recommend. Everything else is one-ended, and you can get a better price with Saint. That's my opinion. But this brush, Saint, doesn't have this shape. And this, if you are a girl of the 90s and the 80s of doing your makeup, this was the only show in town. Fluffy brushes. I don't recall ever seeing a fluffy brush for eyes. All right, so I'm just pressing this color on my lid, and this is just priming my primer. Powder blends best on top of powders. It's like Bob Ross, okay? He would always cover his canvas with paint and then go in with paint. Okay. Hello, Amelia. I hope you enjoy my videos. I try to keep it light and bright, nothing too heavy here. Hello, Sierra. All right. I'm gonna do a latte look with colors that are going away. I like the latte look. I think it's very popular for all the skin tones. I think it's very popular. So we're gonna dig into that with colors that are going away. Okay, the colors I'm gonna use are Spell and Leo. Let's not use Leo. I wish I had my computer with me. I'm trying to think of what is going away. Leo is a bit bright. I can't remember which one. Doggone. I wonder if I can. This thing is hit or miss. I've lost my mouse. My husband took my mouse. I can't mouse. I can't mouse. He took my mouse. All I got is my chicken butt light. All right, never mind. I can't look it up. Okay. All right. I know I'm drinking a lot of the coffee. I'm needing the coffee today. Anyways, okay, we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna be using a brush that's on sale, and it is the Blur brush. It's an amazing brush. It's got this nice dense end, great for packing things on, and then the fluffy end, it's so good. And we are gonna go in with, I wanna go into As You Wish. As You Wish is a color that's going away. I'm gonna be using multiple palettes. As You Wish, I believe is this guy right here. Is this, oh, Sis, we're gonna use Sis. Sis, I believe, is going away. It's a hard to pick up color. And we're just going to, I don't know what that means. FaceTime somebody did this to me and I'm so happy. And okay, I don't know what that means. All right, we're going into Sis. I'm going to try to focus. We're going into Sis, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush. Sis is one of those ones, I don't know if you could tell, but it creates a film if you use your finger to apply it, which I like to do. And so sometimes you just have to give it a little scuffing, and then you can dig in with your brush. Oops, I want the fluffy end. And then I'm just gonna press this up on my brow bone up here. Super messy. You want it to add a little light shimmer. I will always, always, always put a light shimmer on my brow bone. It adds a little bit of lift. It's really good. You could use your finger because it doesn't pick up heavy, and you can buff that onto your lid as well. But this creates a film. You will find you're scuffing it up a lot. And you can use a spoolie. If you've ever gotten your lashes done, you'll just have them laying around everywhere. And you could just use that, and you could easily just scuff them up. Or you can use your fingernail like I do, but just buff that on. And you can't really go too far with this color, Sis. Okay. I think for my latte look, what color am I going to do? I want to do a light brown. I like having a really warm transition color. All right, so we're gonna go into the color Butterscotch, because I do believe that is part of the sale. If it's not, Tangerine is a great option, but Leo is one of my favorites, but it's a little bright for the look I'm going for today. So this right here is Butterscotch. My ride or die is Leo. So if you're wanting whatever I would always use, it would be this one, this bright Leo. But for today's look, this latte look, I got a lot of requests for the latte look, which is why I'm doing it. So we're gonna go into the Butterscotch with the fluffy brush, and I'm gonna see, okay, so I have a heavy droop. I don't have hooded eyes from the front. So every time I say I have hooded eyes, it's like not hooded. It is. It's just not hooded. Nobody's eyes are the same, but there is hooding. And I keep this on the hood. And this is gonna give my eyes some lift. It's gonna hide the fact that I have this heavy droop over here, and it's gonna lift things up. It's gonna make my brow bone a bit more prominent, and it's gonna change the shape of my eye just a bit. I'm gonna pin part of my hair back, so I've had somebody else tell me that too, like, it's too distracting. distracting with the hair. This hair is distracting. This hair is awful. I've never had long hair and I've been trying to grow it out. To be fair, my mother-in-law, she had cancer 15 years ago, lost all of her hair. I have been actively growing my hair out since before she had cancer. Her hair is much longer than mine now. I cannot get my hair to grow. I cannot. Okay, so we're gonna take this butterscotch and I just added that warmth way up high. I really like having a transition color because it's not the focal point. It is the accent and it just adds a little more depth and a little more fun. You can really have fun with transition colors, okay? I am trying to do a latte look, which is gonna be the brown tones. These are all gonna be shades of brown. They're very safe, very easy. So I'm gonna use butterscotch and we're just gonna pop that up top above the crease. So if you have hooded eyes, living above the crease, you got so much real estate up here, you should use it. And the nice thing about doing your eyeshadow first is you can really blend this as far out as you want. You can get fallout and you'll be able to clean it up when you do your makeup with the prep work. All right, so we're just gonna bring that up here. You can build it out as far as you want because we can rein it in and customize our placement. It's really nice to do this, and your eyeshadow tends to look, you need one thing to mix with the other. It's like clicking things together, trusting the process. Don't judge your eyeshadow until the rest is on, and then you can start touching up your eyeshadow, but don't strive for perfection before your face is on because sometimes this has a full effect on this. Keep that in mind every time. So I get a lot of people that are like, oh, it just doesn't look like yours. Did you decide that before or after you did the rest of your makeup? All right, the next color I'm gonna go into is Spell. It reminds me of Cocoa and Phil. All right, so Spell is a lovely color. I can see why they're getting rid of it because we have so many shades like this. So this is Spell and this is Philly. Philly is my favorite. It picks up really nicely, but it's not going away. This is 50% off. This is $7, this is $14. That should tell you the why, okay? So we're gonna go in and I'm gonna use the more dense end and I'm just gonna go into the corner and I'm gonna pick a little bit up and I'm gonna press this on the outside of my eye. I want this to come out past my outer corner. I have no makeup on under here. That's purely discoloration from my lash serum. And so we're just gonna bring that outward and I use a really light touch. I just use the tips of the bristles. It really doesn't take much. It's like transferring evidence here. All right, so we're just gonna circle this around on the outside of the eye. Now I naturally raise my brows up, but when you rest them, so here it looks like I've got a really great shape and then I rest and all that brown just disappears into my hood. And I always just add a touch at a time and then I'll bring it upward into that butterscotch transition color. That's where I say it's like a peekaboo color. I am coming up with a new Sunset Eyes look. If you look up Saint Makeup Sunset Eyes, my video will pop up. I love my Sunset Eye look and I'm really mad that my Sunset Eye shades are going away. Leo and Mija are two of my favorite colors together as transition shades, and using two colors is so good. But you want to make sure you're resting your brows and you're working out here. And remember, we're going to be able to rein this in more when we do our makeup. But I like to bring this around. This is a very 90s placement here. So if you like that retro, who thinks 90s is retro? Tell me if 90s is retro because that's going to break my heart. But if 90s is retro, this is your placement. It's really about living outside of your lid and bringing that all around. It's like the days of the 90s when you would dark line your lips and then fill it in with a nice nude shade. I guess that's retro now. Oh boy, howdy. But I used to dark line my lips, over pluck my brows, and I lived for the brown shades. CoverGirl had the perfect latte combo and I lived for that palette back then. I am 44. I am of an age. I am too old to be young and too young to be old. So I am what I am, and if you don't like a 44-year-old showing off for makeup, then I'm sorry. I'm going to take some more of this shade and I'm going to work this into my lash line and bring it inward, right like that. And it just takes a soft touch and you could just start bringing it in. And I'm going to show two ways. I'm going to do the gradient look on this side because there's two ways to do based off of the style of makeup that you like. Okay. Oh, Tyler. Okay, hold on. Let me see. There we go. All right. We are going to tap into this and I'm going to press a little bit more. And the gradient look is starting from your lashes and we're going to move it in an up and out motion. Both are going to be really pretty because I've done them before. But again, it's a trust the process. Okay. 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 Oh, the FaceTime, whatever. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure I was reading something right. I do try to pre-read because I've pre-read some real doozers. All right, so we're going to take this on. You can kind of see how I have it packed on really well. This is really great for girls that aren't of an age maybe, but I don't go all the way to the inner corner. You're going to gunk up the inner corner of I did block Tyler. I already blocked Tyler. All right, so we're gonna press this on along our lash line, but I don't go. I'm gonna zoom in. Now, if you don't like people who zoom in, I'm sorry, but I keep it really light on the inner and I don't bring it all the way in. I really focus it on the outer 3/4 area, and then I bring that up into the crease. And then I'm doing quick taps. I'm not sweeping. And especially if you have more mature lids that have a lot of movement, tap your little heart out. So grab some more, and we're gonna go out here. We're gonna build this up a little bit deeper, and then we're gonna go up and out, just going on the outer half of this brow bone here. Okay, and then rest that brow just to see what closes off into the trunk. And then while you're resting, you just bring this up and out. Bing, bang, boom. Tyler was one of those guys that probably walks into the grocery store and thinks everybody did their makeup for him. Oh, that poor fella. Okay. I am, okay, so Sierra, I am using All Saint makeup, and there is a link. There is also a link to be color matched. So if you want me to color match brows, pick out some eyeshadows for you, whatnot, and so forth, message me and I will get into it. I spent all weekend doing some color matching, and I love color matching. Okay, so we're gonna bring this upward and outward. So two very different shapes. Gradient look, which just means it's packed on and then gradiently blends out. All right, we're done with spell. I'm just gonna take what's left on the brush and I'm gonna bring it down. Now remember, we're doing our eyes first so we can clean it up later. And you aren't gonna get the creasing because of that amazing primer. Now, I don't sell Scentgents. I'm not a distributor. I am not an MLMer with Scentgents. Honestly, my friend is. And so when you buy it, you're supporting my friend. Okay. Okay, you wish you knew how to do makeup. Practice. Nobody was good at anything the first time. We weren't even good at walking. Heck, we were barely good at laying. We'd get mad about laying. So practice. What I always say is try different placements, see what you like at the end, and then if there's something you don't like, tweak it, okay? And so is there fallout from the shadow? Yes, that's why we're gonna do our makeup, our eye makeup first because of the fallout. And so when I put my makeup on, I'm gonna use some balm, and having that, this upgrade on first, that really helps with helping the cleanup because you really don't wanna be rub-a-dub-dubbing on your under eyes because it's gonna mature them faster. We don't wanna do that. And so I was one of those girls that was like, it'll never happen to me. I'll never get old. And I'm not old, but I am maturing and I'm embracing it because I've had a hard lesson in the last few months. Like not everybody gets to be 44 people. Not everybody gets to be 66. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Everybody's very focused on how old I am. I am 44. I'm gonna put a sign up that says I am 44. But I am 44 and I like being 44 because I sure don't want to do my 20s again. Man, no way. It's a habit. Put a Post-it up, eyes first. I'm telling you, your makeup will, especially, so I know you like your under eyes really nice and bright. The days you do your eye makeup first, your under eyes will thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna add some more colors. I am going to go into Foxy. Now I'm gonna show you that this is how much I bought a new Foxy. Where did it go? I put it somewhere. This is how much I like Foxy. It broke off in this corner, but look at that grab, okay? So this is Foxy, 50% off, $7, or you can get hot chocolate, which is just chunkier. And I know a lot of maturing women, they don't love high flex, and hot chocolate is a high flex, and this is what is staying and this is what is going, and I'm mad about it. All right, so here is hot chocolate. It does go on really pretty. Okay, so there's hot chocolate, and here is Foxy right here. And it's just a touch of a difference. It's just a bit more warm. I just think there's more fallout with hot chocolate than there is with Foxy. So where's oh, I need a microfiber. Stand by. Do I have one in here? Ooh, let's get a brand new one out. These are on sale too. I believe the white ones. So if you're looking for a good microfiber, Amazon has ones and you could buy more for less, but I'm just saying. Anyways, okay. It is a habit. I'm telling you, try it. Just, it's makeup. This should be fun. And try it. Oh, Simona. Sad. Okay. It's really easy. So once you find your placement that you like in the style of makeup, so maybe you like the gradient look, maybe you like this. Is that better? Am I back on? How about that? Back? Give me a thumbs up if I'm back. Yay! Okay, yay! Woo, that was close. Okay. Oh, Mondays. My Monday's a Monday now. Okay, I'm gonna grab a small mirror. This bad boy. All right, we're gonna go in. This is a Stila Stay All Day. It is pricey, but it is worth it. I linked it. Don't get the magic wand. Just get the one-ended one. That's the one I have linked at Ulta. I like this, especially if you like a defined eye, if you like that structured eyeliner. Okay. Okay. We're gonna take this. This is why I like this one. Do you see? Let me see if I can get it. There we go. Do you see how little that felt tip is? That's a really good one if you're really looking for a pinpoint liner. Some people just want a little bit of definition. I like having depth on the outer part of my lid. I want my eyes to look more open. I want them to look a little bit bigger, and I want them to also look lifted. And you can do all of that without needing a needle. I don't have any Botox. I have full range of motion everywhere, okay? All right, so yes, hello EJ for your brother. We're gonna take this here. Okay, my eyeshadows are all from Saint, and there is a link in the description. And a lot of most of the colors today are 50% off. So they're $7 a color. And that makes it so you don't have to go and spend a god-awful amount to have 12 shades of brown. Okay, you want colors that have purpose, not colors that I hate when I have palettes and there's like 3 shades, but I have 12, but there's only 3 that have really hit 10. So I'm gonna take this here and I'm gonna show you how I hope my zoom isn't crazy because okay. All right, so we're gonna take this here and I'm gonna go on the inside of my eye and I'm only gonna draw a thin line to where my lashes start growing. Now I'm 44. I used to do the lash extensions, and so I just want to add a little line right there. That's it. That's the only thing I want to add. And that's going to help give the illusion that my mascara comes all the way in. My eyeliner is going to look like it goes all the way across just by adding that little touch. And it gives your eye a little bit of definition, gives it a downward push when you follow that line, that natural flow of your eye, because we're going to give ourselves a little eye lift out here by just using this. Okay. And so we're going to skip the middle. So if you have maturing, I'm glad that you're doing this technique. It's such a good technique. If you're for Saint, yes, it does deliver to Canada. Anything I talk about with Beauty Society, they have not branched out to Canada yet, and it's a bummer, but all Saint, you can have, I haven't even gotten to my face yet, but we're going to take this. And so if you have more mature eyes and you want them to look more open, do not line the mid from your eye to your eye. What is that part called? The colored part. I don't know. Just don't line there. Just let that be your guide. From here to here, I'm not going to line, but that is where I'm going to start my liner. I'm going to draw straight out. This is a tiny but mighty weed, so do not come at me with barely see it. That's the point. Okay. So we're going to be pulling straight out. I have so much eyeshadow fall out. But again, why would we do our eyeshadow first? Okay, so we're going to draw straight outward, and we're drawing the outline to our tiny but mighty wing. Adding this darkness is going to give that eye a kick in the butt. Everything we want lifts, okay? High heels give your butt like an extra inch and a half lift. We want jeans that don't make us look like we've got a freaking flat butt. We buy the good bras. We get the things. We want lift. I don't want to pay an absorbent amount of money to inject into my forehead just to do that when I can do that with makeup. Okay. All right. There we go. Pulling some weeds. Okay, so we're going to grab into this, and we've gone straight up. Then you're going to go to where your lashes stop. Get a little mirror. And if you need a magnifying one, get one of those too. All right, and then you're going to go to where your lashes stop, and you're going to go straight up. We're looking down when we're doing this, and so you're going to go straight up, and you're drawing an outline of your wing. That's way easier than going from your lash line out, because you'll end up doing too much. And then once you have this outline, you color it in to your lashes. That's why I like this teeny tiny little felt tip. It holds so much, puts so much on, and it's nice and bold. And then when you rest your face back, pushes that back down, and you get this flow to your eye. And then you can build out if you want, using these teeny tiny little dots on this teeny tiny felt tip, just like that. And do you see how it changed the shape of my eye? Just added a little tiny lift over there, okay? These small palettes, I always travel with at least two, because I have one for my brows, one for my powder, and this one just hangs out. I always have multiples of these little palettes, and they're so good. Okay, so we're going to see here, hold on, let's see. Okay, sorry about your brother. All right, so we're gonna draw this line over here and outward to where our lashes start. Then we're gonna go and we're gonna meet the other side of the eye, and we're gonna draw straight out, and then we're gonna go straight up and meet. Then we're gonna fill it in to the lashes. I did not waterline. I am a waterliner. And I do like doing that, but I know that is a little tricky for some people, and that's okay. So we just use that little thing, and now I'm gonna check to make sure they kind of match, and they kind of don't. So I'm just gonna come over here and make it match more. Sisters, not twins, but not cousins. Okay. Oh, I love that. I like with the cream illuminators before they came out with Xanadu. So if you're not wanting to buy Xanadu, you can take one of these little palettes, because they'll hold either 4 eyeshadows or they'll hold 2 full sizes, and you can put your bronzer on one side and then rose gold or any of the cream illuminators on the other side, and you can make your own Xanadu. So good. Okay, I'm gonna go into my mascara now. We're gonna really dig in. I get real detail. I get super teachy on these, on all of them. What am I talking about? All right. FanFest. Clear winner. out of all of these. If you're ever looking for an eyeshadow, I do feel like what works for me may not work for others. And so I don't like any of the perfumed if Starlit is still available, that might be part of the 50% off sale. If Starlit is still available in the cream scented illuminator, it might just be a solid perfume. I have the roller. I keep it in my car. I have multiples of it. I'm almost out and I'm going to have to switch it out. Starlit is probably my favorite scent. I don't like any of Saint's other scents. One, they don't last. They just make your palette smell nice. But I don't love any of their perfumes, especially the illuminators. I feel like they all smell like bathroom soap. I've never been a fan. Never. None of them. I don't even share about them. All right. So I like, okay, so yeah, scent and 4, but they don't last. They really are just really great for making your, the scented illuminators are great for just making your palette smell nice, not you. I like, my favorite perfume is, there's a Philosophy one, and it's cashmere, and it smells like vanilla. I was a Vanilla Fields girl. I love vanilla, and that was one of my favorites. Or there's another one that's really inexpensive, and I think you can get at the grocery store, and it's called Pink Sugar. You smell like cotton candy. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna let this person hang out here who said I'm pretty even without makeup. I didn't say I was ugly, but thank you. Who's the Pink Sugar by? Aquafina. I honestly think it's maybe like under $30, and it's really good. Okay, so we're gonna go into FanFest, and I'm gonna get in even closer. I really wanna talk about why I mascara the way I mascara. All right, so I like having bristles like this. I want them to be old school bristles. I don't like the silicone bristles that much. There's a few that have been good, and I think it's more about the mascara than the brush on that one, but this FanFest one is great. So I use my Babe Lash for length, and I use my mascara for volume. And so this is FanFest, and it's so good. So we're gonna take this, it's curved, and we're gonna keep it curved down, and I'm gonna go right up under at the root, and I'm gonna wiggle my lashes into the bristles and then pull. And we're gonna wiggle it, and we're gonna pull. And this is just gonna build up product on our lashes, and it's gonna chunk up. But because we're lifting, it's not gonna clump up. So we're looking to chunk up without clumping up. We want it to be nice and full and just grabbing each bit side by side at the root, not at the mid and not at the ends. We're wanting it to build up product at the root. And what that's gonna do is now my eyeliner looks like it went all the way across. And that's just because we're building up the mascara at the base. So we wiggle our lashes into the bristles and then we pull up. If we wiggle it and let go, that's when you're gonna start chunking up instead of building up. And so you're just gonna wiggle that in and go up. And we're gonna wiggle it in. I think there's a lot of really good mascaras. Lashtopia is another one that I really like. It's really hard to find that one. That's a Bare Minerals, but I'm really liking FanFest. I went and I bought a full size of FanFest by Benefit. It's really good, but we're just really working. I focus more on building up product at the root, and then as it starts to tack up, then you're gonna, anytime you reload, you swirl, don't pump it. You're gonna dry it out faster. Then we can go up to the ends and we can start building our length by adding a coating to the ends, like this. And then we're gonna comb down on the tips. And this is just building product on top at the ends and then going back up again. And just making sure, once things start getting clumpy is when you stop. But that's where the Babe Lash, my lashes are long. It just takes the mascara to see it, okay? So the mascara shows you where your lashes are. It's just hard to see over here. So having a good mascara that works for volume and having a good serum that works for length and the way they work together. If you're looking for free shipping, where is it? So if you're, I think it's worth it together. This is, I think, under $9. So this is by Babe Lash. Get their serum, And then grab their For Real mascara. This is a really good one to try. So when you get the serum, get this. I do believe I have a link for it. I wish I had a coupon code. I'm keeping a lookout for it. And if I do, it'll be on the link. So go to my link tree and it should be listed there. If there is a coupon code, I'll check after this. But the mascara, the FanFest is so good. Okay, so what's going on in here? Am I missing something? Okay, let's see. Oh, we got this person. There we go. I'm just going to pull some weeds. Okay. Let's see. All right. So we're just, I just wanted to check the comments, see. It was when I get into my lashes to stop seeing the comments. Okay, so same thing over here. We're just going to wiggle, and then we're lifting, and we're just building up that product. But that wiggle is going to get those little lashes in, and you want to do this right at the base. And the other great thing is that if you ever hit something that makes you blink and then you transfer all your mascara, that's okay. Okay? Keeping the lashes separated, that's why we go in and then we comb it up. And so that's what keeps it from not being super clumpy and not adding. You can get clumpy if you add mascara once it's started to tack up too much. And so by wiggling it, you're combing it outward and not chunking it up. So we're just adding product. It's like when you paint and you're painting and it builds up down here and it's thinning out. That's what we're doing right here. We're just painting our lashes and we're building up product down here. Okay, and then you go down on the tops of the lashes to add that product on. Like, look what that just did. And then you start combing it up. I'm not a lash curler. I don't like lash curling. It's not my journey. All right, Babe Lash, I believe they might have a waterproof. I'm not sure. That one is not. I'm gonna zoom back out. Whoa! Okay. Okay. Let's see. You always sleep on your left. Your lashes will not curl no matter what you do. Hey, I get it. There's some heated lash curlers. Oh, Beauty Society has them. I haven't tried those. I know somebody who uses them and she loves them, and all it does is it doesn't clamp. It's kind of heated. It looks like a curved hand, and you just comb it up, and it reminds me of when you're combing your hair out with a round brush and you comb it this way and then your hair goes whoop. That's kind of what it does. I don't know. Okay. The first time you've caught me live. Yay! I like that. Okay. I haven't tried a heated curler. Maybe I should get it and I'll give you my review on it. They scare the hell out of me. I don't like lash curlers. Oof, bad experience. But I don't put mascara underneath. I find that it makes my under eyes look deeper, so I don't add any mascara to my lower lashes. There is a Rimmel mascara that has a comb, and I think that would be a really good one if you really wanted a good, because I find these brushes can really overdo your lower lash line. So, but Rimmel has a comb one, and I'm interested in that one. I need to try it. And I went and I looked at drugstore makeup. I want to know what people's favorite drugstore foundation is for maturing skin, because everything I've tried has fallen very short. I haven't found anything yet. But I did have somebody say, tell me your favorite drugstore stuff, and I just haven't found any yet. Anyways, our eyes are done, okay? And I want you to pay attention. So over here, I have the gradient look. Over here, I just piled the dark on the outside and brought it over above the crease, okay? You won't find anything better than saying, you're absolutely right. Okay, we're gonna put the eyeshadow away for right now. And I'm gonna go into my Saint makeup. Where did I put my palette? Okay, my everyday palette is this bad boy because I can grab and go. But there's so many different sizes. I mean, over here, look at all those palettes. I'm a palette whore. I have so many. I have more down here, but you can easily get, this would be a great starter palette. It holds 4 on top and 4 on the bottom. You can easily have your whole face right here and then some eyeshadow down here. You could even go even smaller. I just did a palette for somebody and I just put the basics into this tiny tiny little palette, and it will hold just 4. And I put her main, her brightening, her contour, and her blush in there. And her contour and her blush can be her lipstick too. And everything about Saint, we're going to get into it. We're going to say all the things I always say. Saint is a cream-based 3D foundation system. All right, so I'm going to go into this balm here, and I'm going to clean up some of this eyeshadow, but this is really great. You could use Aquaphor, but you can take this, and this is going to help you with hydration. If you find that your concealer, if you're using traditional concealer, you can use this, or you can grab an Aquaphor stick and do this, but L'Oreal BB cream is too light for me. I need more coverage. But having a balm underneath is gonna give that hydrated look. Your eye cream gives the hydration. This is gonna look hydrating, and it's gonna help your makeup not crease, but this will also help clean up any fallout. Okay, and I'm able to customize it a little bit, but I'm going upward. But I want this balm under my eyes, because if you're using traditional foundation or concealer, you're gonna get that crepey set. It's gonna crease, it's gonna crepe, it's gonna look, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. I wanna say crepey, but there is that crepiness, but it can also look splotchy. All right, so adding this underneath any traditional concealer, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Tarte, NARS, Beauty Society, put a balm underneath it, whatever you're using. Okay, so grabbing that balm, going up into that inner corner and working my way out, because we scrunch. You want that balm right here. All right, it's gonna migrate makeup by moving your face, and I have a face that moves, and so I'm just pushing this up. It's cleaning up some of that eyeshadow that I blended out too far, and this just cleans things up, but it's also gonna make a great starting point for any under eye stuff. All right, so my palette is not your palette. Also, I need to clean my palette. You can melt these tins down on low on your stove. If you have a gas stove, a coil stove, just put it on a frying pan, put it on low, and do a low and slow. Use a toothpick to swirl it. It'll pick out all the gunk, it'll clean it up, and then they melt and they settle quick. And it's like new again. You will use 100% of your makeup, which you can't do if you're using a bottle. You know, you've got makeup stuck to the bottom, stuck to the sides. You've got to use, you know, the handles of your brushes to get in that bottle. And then I remember doing that. You will use 100% here of your makeup. And the nice thing is everything you see right here, these are all foundation. Everything. Your contour is foundation. Your bronzer is foundation. Your blush is foundation. Also, your contour, your bronzer, and your blush are all your lipsticks. Everything in here. So the other nice thing is that you're never going to find is a makeup that is 80% pigmentation, 80% for 16 bucks. I would not recommend melting Xanadu because the flecks may settle at the bottom. So I would not recommend anything with shimmer, any cream shimmers. I wouldn't recommend it, because the shimmers will settle at the bottom. You can use a coffee warmer, a candle warmer, a flat iron, but don't, because what if it slips? I've had that happen, and then all is lost. Okay. All right, so everything in here is foundational coverage. $16 to $18 for a color. I think Xanadu is a little more pricey, which is this shimmery bronzer here, but $18 a color, or I'm sorry, $16 a color at 80% pigmentation. You will not find a makeup out there that has those two things together. It's hard to find a cream foundation that is 80% pigmentation. Traditional stick foundation, cream foundations like Hourglass that I've used, I like Hourglass, $60, one color, $60 and 40% pigmentation. This is a milk contour. I really like this contour. So if you're looking for a good contour that's maybe not Saint, this guy right here, this is the color Stoked. And this is, I want to say maybe $28 to $34 for this little fella here. 40% pigmentation. Maybe. It might even be 30. It's going to be less, but it is a good one. It is a good one. I don't like any of these. This is an e.l.f. one, this Halo Glow. Trash. I didn't like it. It settled into all my pores because it was too liquidy. Didn't like it. Okay. Anyways, Nothing is 80% pigmentation. They do last so long because they have high pigmentation. You're going to get the words. High pigmentation means you need less product to get the result you want. So when you're using a liquid foundation, it's 20% pigmentation. That's it. Saint is 80. So just the foundation. And this color, you can't spot treat all your stuff. And so you tend to turn your whole face one color. But my face that has nothing on it is not one color. I've got redness, I've got scars, I've got discoloration, I've got natural shadowing around my base. I mean, I got some sun this weekend. You've got natural shadowing, darkness under the eyes. Stop putting your makeup on like it's one color, because what you're doing is you're stacking all kinds of makeup on top, and more product means more texture. Makeup will always look like makeup, but it should look like good makeup. And we're wearing our makeup for us. We're not wearing it for anybody else. So you want to feel your best. You don't want to cover all your stuff. Like, I got stuff. Okay, I've got pores, darkness, scars from cystic acne, hyperpigmentation like ivy up my face. I got things. And I don't want to have to make a trade. Oh, I want coverage. So I'm going to have texture. It's going to look thick because I want coverage. I want coverage more than anything else. It's okay. Okay. You have redness and texture. Creams work magic on texture because our skin is a texture. I mean, I've got texture up the beep, but your skin is a texture. What if your skin texture could be your illuminator? Using a cream will add life back into your skin, and it will illuminate based off of the texture of your skin. It can happen. So we're going to do it. Okay, I'm going to use a light coverage brush. This is a shape brush. Mine's black. It'll be gold. That's okay. But I like this little rounded. Oh, get the silver one. The shape brush, get the silver one. And it's limited edition. So grab it while you can. Yes, there's a link. Okay, we're going to go into these top 3 colors for me. These are my correctors. These are my I can't live without. Okay. You wore all Saint makeup on Saturday. I love that. I was in the heat. Blotting papers are your best friend when it's hot. Blotting papers. If you don't have blotting papers, go find a restroom and go grab one of those toilet liners. Not a used one, obviously. All right, the J.Lo glow. Yes, creams create the glow. It's really, you don't have to add shimmer. You can have your makeup be the illuminator without shimmer. All right, I'm going to go into this color here. This is Aspen. It's the color of concrete. It's gray. And I figured when picking this, I have redness. And I was like, how can I not have redness? And because I like a bold blush and it always pulls through, and then I have splotches. I don't like it. So how do I dull it? Maybe I'll put gray on. So I take a fluffy brush. I'm going to go into my Aspen just a little bit. And then I'm going to go over the red. You should still see the stuff, but the red is gone. I still have spots, but my red, that red is gone. Okay, I have some redness on my chin. Just grab a little bit. You don't need a lot. And it mutes. All we're doing is muting a color. Muting a color. Gonna grab some more of that Aspen. Not a lot. It should just look like you have dust on your brush. I'm gonna take this red, okay? I'm gonna take the red and I'm gonna go over the red. The spot is still there, but I don't have a gray smear on my face. You still see the spots, but the tone is gone. The tone is gone. I'm just gonna go over my redness here, broken capillaries, tip of my nose, right here, just what's left on the brush, and it's gone. Gone, muted, done. Okay. Bioma Milk Hydrating Toner. Oh. Hold on. I'm writing it down. Oh, B-Y. Got it. Okay, sticking with that brush. And I'm going to go in right here to Suede Lip Liner. Okay, we're going to take the suede, and I have a bit of darkness that's coming in on this side, but I got a big one right there, and then I got little guys coming up right here. Instead of changing this color, I'm just gonna camouflage it by turning all of this a similar tone by going around it and up. This is a shadowy area, so I'm just turning my hyperpigmentation into a shadow. But I'm using a color that is similar. You can still see it, but I've camouflaged around it to reduce it. So now I can apply makeup. And now I'm gonna go and grab it here. I'm gonna do the same thing. One for balance, but I do have a little bit here and then it's growing up. So again, turning the skin tone, the similar color, and then bringing it up. A lot of people like demi. I'm not a fan of demi. Or I guess they're called corrector colors now. Cream correctors. I don't love them. They're a great product if that's all you want to do. My problem is that I like full, medium to full coverage makeup. And if I put my makeup on top of something, I want to know my makeup isn't mixing with it. And the cream correctors are creamy. And so when you go right on top of it, it wipes them pretty much out. Whereas these two colors, Aspen and Suede, are dense. And so when you put them on, they're gonna stay where you put them because they're dense, and they're gonna hold my makeup on top because of the density. All right, I'm gonna use my finger here, and I'm gonna go into this color. This is Daylily. This is part of the sale. This color is going away. 50% off, so it's $8. Okay, we're gonna grab that color, and I put that balm under my eyes, but I have this darkness. It's really prominent right in this area here. I'm gonna press this on, and I'm gonna bring it up. Now, the reason I don't use demi on this area or cream correctors is because one, those are I think $22. Full price of this would be $16. It's $8 now, but it's also a blush and it's also a lipstick. The cream correctors are not. I want something that can do more than one thing. Okay, in a pinch, my Suede can be my camouflager, but it can also be my contour, but it's also my lip liner. Aspen's Aspen. You're not going to turn that into a contour. That's ridiculous, but it is a one-trick pony, but it's 16 bucks. It's not 20-something bucks, which is why I like it over Redness, over G1, Y1, GY1 if they still have it, but the demis are creamy, and anytime I've used those colors on this Redness, as soon as I put my makeup on, as soon as I put my blush on, it clears it right out and the spots pull through. See, I really like the demi. I've used it on my under eyes before, and I do like it. But again, it's the price point for me. I want you to have a palette that is affordable. I want to know that instead of spending $22, right now you can go and get 2 of these for less than 1 demi. All right, so again, taking that color, I just use my finger and I'm pressing it into that balm I put on. And what this peach does is it cancels out the darkness and just turns it a shade of pink, but not in a way that looks ridiculous. I do like demi under eyes. It is a bit creamier than Daylily or Frenchie, but not by much. But again, I just want them to be able to do more than one thing. I like demi under the eyes. I don't think there's a wrong way to do it. Just tap it directly point to point. But again, it's $22 for one of their colors. Now, I don't think you'll buy one again for years. And so there is that. Like, you can make demi last a year and a half for one of those. And it's half the size. A cream corrector is half the size of one of these. It's the size of an eyeshadow. But because they're pure pigment, they will last a long time. But again, they do one thing. And I do think demi is great for under eyes, especially if you have very puffy or very textured under eyes. I do think it's a better product for under eyes. Okay. That you can take that little brush and I don't know, if you message them, they are always looking for ideas. So if you do message them, it would be nice if they made a little space for a little click-in brush. But I don't see them doing that. I did just get part of the last chance sale. There is a heart-shaped palette, and it's green. It's a over the rainbow product that was a promo product for artists that went to conference. I didn't go, but now that they have the last chance sale, I went and I bought it. That puppy holds 1 full size or 2 eyeshadows. That puppy's heavy. It's a paperweight. I put fig in mine, and now it's sitting in my purse, but it's heavy, heavy. Okay. Now that we've done the correcting, I'm going to get into my makeup. Now, if you don't have stuff like I do, like I had redness, hyperpigmentation, if you don't have stuff skip that. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't have to. 80% pigmentation, you don't have to. Do I need my correctors? Probably not. Do I prefer using them first? Absolutely. I feel like I get more longevity out of my makeup over my stuff. I'm very, very aware of my stuff. I also feel like anytime I run into people in town, they're like looking at my makeup. But I'm very aware of my stuff. I'll go check the bathroom. I'll go check a mirror, pretend I'm looking at my phone, but I'm checking a camera just to see if my stuff's pulling through. I'm very insecure about it. So this makes me feel more confident. And that's the point of a palette, is to customize a palette out of what you want out of your makeup that's gonna make you feel your best. That's it, the end. Makeup is here. If you're not a makeup person, don't be a makeup person. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. But your palette should be a reflection of what you want to feel for the rest of your day. How do you want to feel when you're washing your hands in the bathroom and you look at yourself in the mirror? How do you want to feel when you walk by a mirror? How do you want to feel when you catch a reflection in the microwave? Like, how do you want to feel? It's nice being told you look lovely today. I love when my husband tells me I look pretty. I definitely know he prefers straight hair because he tells me I'm pretty on my straight hair days. But makeup is here to make us feel our best, because when we're happy, everyone's happy. When mama's mad, everyone's gonna be mad. Okay. You want them to make a little compact. Yes, with the Pilot brush is coming. I just don't know when. I'm gonna say Christmas. I'm gonna say Christmas, but they haven't told me. So don't mark my word. Okay. New Restore. Okay, the Restore line. I have been talking to somebody about, because I've been Restore was created by Saint artists who love the makeup, but also wanted the MLM aspect. Like, they were the biggest, I'm going to talk some shit, but a lot of the artists who were directly affected by going to affiliate were affected because they lost their downlines. We actually gained commission. They changed their commission breakdowns based off of our sales alone, but we don't get paid off of the people that were under us anymore. So the people who were like crying are because I lost my team. I did take a hit, but at the same time, I was never team-based. I've always been sales-based. I like helping people, but I've always been sales first, team second. Okay. The skin tint. Okay, there's a corrector tint with that line. I heard it's awesome. Everybody that I've talked to that's been honest with me and not trying to sell me to get me to sell it, there's a difference. I would say, after this, I'm gonna go buy the lash curler. I'm gonna try the heated lash curler that way. Okay, even after mascara. I would try, okay, so this is one of the, so this is what I've heard about lash curling. We're gonna screw up my mascara now. So you're gonna put a lash curler on, and you wanna have it angled out so you don't grab one of these bad boys, because, but you're gonna put these on, okay, and you're gonna let that nuzzle up, and you're gonna slowly curl it lightly, and you're gonna pump it. You can blast these with a blow dryer. You can blast it and get them a little warm, and it will help. Okay, do this before your mascara also, but because you're just gonna end up making a line. I'm not curling, but you want to have, do you see? Okay, biscuits, man. Do you see my lashes sticking out here? I hope you can. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you want this on. I'm not going to squeeze it because I don't want to screw up my mascara. I got a day to do, okay, guys? But you put this on and you pulse it, blast it with a blow dryer if you want to heat it up. It will make it better. And then you go up your lashes towards the tops, and then you do it again. That way you're not just curling from the base. You're curling at the base, and then you go up and you're curling up here too. So then it has a more fluid. I would try that. That's just a cheap Revlon one. Saint has 2 sizes, and so read the description. If you have smaller eyes, they have one for smaller eyes and they have one for normal eyes. All right, let's see. Sticking straight. So I would try the double curl. Okay. I hate the curlers. Okay. Yes, heat it with a, not with a curling iron, but with a blow dryer. Put the blow dryer on it and just heat it up. I wouldn't use a lighter. Do you remember back when we used to, what was it? Untamed Hearts. Was that the Christian Slater movie with Marissa Tomei? And she would like light her eyeliner on fire. I thought I had to do that till I burnt my eye. Ooh, I heated my eyeliner up too much. I will get the Beauty Society one. I think there is a one on Amazon because Beauty Society doesn't go to Canada. Okay, let's do our makeup. We're gonna zip through this because I go pretty fast on this one. And so now that I've done my correctors, which again, if you don't have stuff, don't worry about it. Also, if you just want to try the basics, you can accomplish this without the correctors. Also, I just feel like longevity wise, I get the most out of my makeup, so it's important to me. Okay, I am gonna use some brushes that I love. I feel like I need to clean the brush really quick, so bear with me. I'm using, I'm just gonna keep that off. I'm gonna use Saints brush cleaner because you can clean your brush when it sprays. Am I out? It's got stuff. Okay, come on, spray, spray, here it comes. Biscuits and gravy, man. What the dickens? I'm just gonna open this up. And I'm gonna put this on my microfiber. There we go. Okay. They used to have a really great bottle and I don't know what they did. Okay, so I poured cleaner on here and then I'm just gonna rub my brush on it. And what this does is it's gonna clean, condition, and moisturize your bristles, but it also dries. And so I can use it right away, but this was just a little dirtier than I wanted and now it's clean. Okay, and it's ready to go. Okay, microfibers are bomb.com. And then usually sometimes after I clean my brushes, you can wipe your palette down with it. Just don't spray it directly on your palette. Okay, so we're gonna use the blush and bronzer brush and I'm gonna use my detail brush. I'm gonna go over that same spot with my detail brush because this is a little on the dirty side. A little of that cleaner goes a long, long way. It smells like cotton candy, so that's always good. But if you want it, get it. It's so good. Okay. Let's see. I look like Glinda, Ariana Grande, or the other lady, or the original OG. Okay. Clean, look at that. Oh, so good. Okay, so we're gonna start with the blush and bronzer. These are the two brushes I recommend to everybody because this comes in a collection with bronzer, saves you $11. Okay, I am gonna go into, I'm gonna switch my highlights because I got some this weekend. So I was June, and now I'm not. And I was using two colors to mix, but now I'm not. So now I'm gonna go, you guys, I thought I was prepared for today, but I am not. Where will I find a highlight color? If you have points after the sale that we just had, oh, that's definitely not the color I was wanting. Sandy, I'm gonna grab Sandy. There we go. That's what's nice. These are tiny but mighty. We're gonna go in like that. And I'm gonna keep June actually in there because I'm gonna use June as my brightener. Okay, so Sandy, this is my winter shade. This is my transitional summer shade. I will eventually be a touch darker. Okay, and then I have a really bright brightener. So we're gonna take the blush and bronzer brush and I'm gonna go into my main highlight, which is Sandy right now. And I'm just gonna put some on the brush and I always tap on, you don't want it sticking together. And I'm gonna put this on the beard of my face because I have discoloration and all I'm wanting to do is balance my skin out here. And I just will tap 80% pigmentation, which means I will have coverage I want, but I won't have a lot of makeup on. This should just be doing kind of like when I put that Aspen on and it muted my red. Now I'm just looking to mute the discoloration and give myself a nice balanced skin tone. And then I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna go down my neck. Never forget your neck or your face will look weird, okay? So I'm going into Sandy, so I'm balanced over here and I just bring it up a little bit and in, just the beard of my face. Same thing over here, just to balance. So I have balance, before, and I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I stipple this on because skin is a texture. The days of slapping a filter on and acting like our skin isn't texturized are done. Stop doing that. It's okay to have skin texture. We're human. It's fine. Okay? And if you just want to give yourself coverage on spots and discoloration, totally fine. But your texture is okay. All right? I'm not covering my stuff yet. I'm just balancing out the lower part of my skin. But I'm not wanting to add frosting to my face, which can happen when you're using 80% pigmentation and you're used to piling your makeup on. That's why. Okay. All right. So now, good skincare does help. I use my Beauty Society. My makeup is incredible with it. Now I'm going to go down one to that winter shade that I have, that June. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to go right here. So concealer is typically a shade or two lighter than your actual skin tone. Okay, and that's because it's supposed to look like reflecting light while also giving you some concealer coverage, which is a little heavier than regular coverage, okay? So we're just gonna tap that on and it's gonna look like reflecting light, but also giving balance, all right? I'm gonna grab a little bit more and I'm gonna go right here on my Cupid's bow and right here on my chin, because that's where light reflects, okay? And so we're just gonna go over the Cupid's bow and then right here, okay? And this is just, again, giving ourselves dimension. We're not one flat color. Our face isn't flat. So we're not gonna put our makeup on like it is. We aren't one color. Don't put your makeup on and make yourself one color, because then you're just restructuring your face. Instead, we're just gonna put the colors on based off of the structures of our face, okay? I'm gonna go into my contour here. This is Cedar. I love this color, and I kind of wanna use, I'm gonna use this brush for my forehead, all right? So I just pinch it to keep it the same shape. And then right there, and we're gonna look at our forehead and have natural darkness around. We're gonna put that over here and over here. And then we just swirl into one big circle, bridge across the top, swirl into one big circle over here. All right, we're doing that. And I'm gonna take this fluffy brush and I'm gonna pull that brightness, that lighter color, into my contour here. And now I have coverage, dimension, and balance, all based off of the tones. I already have reflecting light right here. I already have natural shadow tones. And so now I've given myself foundation based off of the structure and tones that are already there. I'm gonna go to my detail brush. This is my favorite brush for my nose and for my cheeks. All right, so I'm gonna go into that Cedar. You just stamp in, okay? And I don't have my bristles all clumping together. You have a natural shadow. We're gonna stay above it. We're gonna put it on almost like a blush. And this is foundational coverage, and Cedar works really well for scarring and hyperpigmentation. So this is gonna give me some of that foundational coverage over my scarring and my stuff. And so I'm just gonna keep this up towards my temple and down. And it's just gonna give me a little bit of structure. I'm gonna go in front of my earlobe and then down my jaw. And this is just gonna chisel, and then I bring it down my neck. All right, grabbing it again. Same thing, staying above the natural shadow here, going up that temple and down. This works well with that hyperpigmentation that I covered before, and I turned my skin the color of the hyperpigmentation. All right, we turned all that stuff into its own shadow, and then up. I need to turn this light on. Hang on, let's try it. Oh, I got my chicken butt light on to give me some extra light over here. Look at that. I need more lights, but look at that. Isn't that nice? Okay, everything is foundation. I don't need to go and bring this up too high to cover my stuff. It's already gonna do that, okay? I don't have any filters on. I don't use filters. I think they're fun, but when you're showing a product like makeup, you should not be using a filter. That's false advertisement. But a lot of people would say the same thing about a push-up bra. Okay, let me see if my chair can come up. Oh, just a touch. Okay, it's almost time for a new office chair. It's been 5 years. Okay, we're gonna take that same brush. I like the shape of this brush to get into the things. We're gonna get a little closer here, and I'm gonna go into the edge of the brush here, onto my contour, and I'm gonna go on the top side of my nose. And this is just gonna give, it's gonna hide my little bump that I have. It's going to slim it down a little bit, the way I like it. Again, my makeup is to give me the most confidence that I want. All right? So So we're just gonna bring that down and around, and then I bridge it together right here, pushing it towards my brows. This is why I don't do my brows first, is because I always screw them up on this part right here. All right. So we just bring that up and down. I'm gonna take this small end, I'm gonna go into that June color, and I'm gonna go right down the middle of my nose. I'm gonna come right here on the tip, and then I'm gonna use my finger to just sweep it up and down. I think I get a little more control doing it this way than using a brush that can push it too far out. And then I can just give everything a last little blend. Okay. All right, so we have these on, and I have my contour on. Now I can use my blush as my foundation. Having a palette that's full of foundation, you're just not gonna find that. Okay, so we're gonna use the blush and bronzer brush. I'm gonna go back into that color I used under my eyes for correcting, and I'm gonna use this as a blush. So as you get older, you lose volume in your cheeks. So I used to have these really nice, healthy little apples on my cheeks, and now they're going away. You lose volume in your cheeks and your lips, and then your ears and your nose keep growing. It's wonderful. So we're gonna take that color I used to correct my under eyes. I'm gonna smile, and you're gonna see all these spots. I'm gonna use my blush as my foundation to cover them. And it's just gonna add a little bit of coverage to it. It works all together. And then I can go in and I can do my under eyes if I want to, but this color here that I've used under my eyes, I can also use it on my lips and on my cheeks, is, I'm trying to, $8 right now, and it's gonna be gone at the end. I like Frenchie in the summer once I get a little bit more color. I'm just, right now we have the sale going on, so I'm wanting to use that color. Okay, under eyes, big deal under eyes. I'm gonna use the small end of the detail brush, and we're gonna go into June, that lighter color, and you see this natural shine I have here. Look at the way my skin texture shows the luminosity in a cream makeup. Creams work well with changing skin, and you should use every bit of your skin to your advantage. Your natural tones, use your contours that go with your natural tones. Use the structure with it, but use the texture of your skin to look like a shimmer. Okay, so we're gonna take that June color, and I'm gonna take this natural shine right here, and that's my starting point. Okay, this should be lighter than my skin tone. We're gonna brighten, we're gonna lift our eyes, and this is gonna pull my eyeshadow back together, okay? So everybody who was like, I don't know about the eyeshadow, this is where it changes. I bring this upward on my orbital bone. We're gonna stay out of this soft tissue. So we have our orbital bone and our eyeball, and then you got this soft, unsupported tissue here. This is what makes you look crepey. This is gonna make you look creasy. More makeup means more texture, which means more mature under eyes. You want very little on the soft tissue. So we're gonna build up around it, and we're gonna bring that up into that inner corner. Just like that. We're gonna bring this down. This is also adding coverage to our cheeks where I had discoloration. Okay, now that I've got this on, you can see I have my trough, and now I can start bringing this inward, bringing it up so that there's very little, but 80% pigmentation means I've got coverage under my eye with very little product. So I'm not gonna have that heavy textured area. I'm just gonna take this brush, blend these together. I wanna use a little more blush just right here. And then I'm gonna punch it up with some color. But that lightness, do you see how it just pulled the eyeshadow together? It also brightened my under eyes. Texture is texture. The trough is still there. The soft tissue is still soft tissue. We're not changing anything. But my corrector is Daylily, which is 50% off. It will be gone for good after July. So, all right. And tomorrow, if you're not in my Facebook group, if you are a girl, you are welcome to be there. I don't let boys into my makeup group. It is what it is. And so you're welcome to come. I will be live tomorrow in my makeup group on Facebook. So we're gonna grab that June, and I'm gonna go to that natural shine. And again, going up that orbital bone, adding lift up into that inner corner. And if you're not, I mean, I'm talking through all this, so it takes me a really long time to do my makeup because I talk, I stop, I talk, I talk, I talk, I talk, I talk. This goes on really quick, real quick, all right? And then I'm gonna punch up my blush. I'm gonna go to the second layer, and I'm gonna go in to this color right here. This is Madrid. And it is a really fun, soft pink color, perfect for summer. My smile, I'm gonna hit right up here on my high point, right here on my high point, and I'm gonna punch up and let that daylily work underneath to not pull my stuff through. And I can have it be as punchy as I want by having daylily underneath. But if daylily's gone and you're watching this, which I don't think anybody rewatches these because they're so long, Frenchie. Okay, I'm gonna grab my little palette too, and I'm gonna use my eyeshadow to slap on some brows. I'm gonna go quick on these because this is such a long live because we've gotten into some nitty gritties, but I'm gonna go into Trust, which is not part of the sale, and I'm gonna do a hard outline on the bottom. So I'm gonna come in really, I go in a little more than my inner corner, and then I'm gonna follow my natural brow arch. And then when my brow stops here, I'm just gonna keep it going. Call me crazy. I go in about a quarter of the way, and I'm gonna do a hard outline on the top, follow that natural arch and extend that tail out. And then I'm gonna come to this line here, and I'm just gonna go up. And then I'm gonna blend those two outer lines in. So I'm gonna bring that line I just drew on the bottom, I'm gonna blend it upward. I'm gonna push this line inward, and then I'm gonna blend it down and into the shape of my brow. I'm gonna grab this lighter shade Oak, and we're gonna bring that down and in. And then I'm gonna take my spoolie, and I'm gonna comb in and blend everything together and pick up excess. I like a really bold brow. All right, so we're gonna grab this. We're gonna go and do the same thing over here. Once you find your brow shape, go get those stencils off of Amazon, try out some shapes, and then start drawing them on. And then they go on fast and easy once you figure out what you like. Just like eyeshadow, just like everything, once you find the placement, it's just about changing the colors and the tones. When I do a more natural makeup look, I use the lighter brow shade on my brows. But I like a good, bold, structured brow. It's my taste, don't yuck my yum. So I'm always gonna do that here. And I just will whip this out as best I can. But I overplucked a lot, and I've worked really hard just to get back the growth that I have right now. But there's the brows. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna set my makeup, get a film forming spray. I like the Professionals, I like one size. And in the bag back there, I have my Blue Marble. Blue Marble is the one I think I have linked. It's on Amazon, and it's my favorite, but it works like a hairspray. So we're just gonna spray this on. I'm not bronzing myself today. I don't need it. I can go full Oompa Loompa easy. I tan very brown. All right, we're gonna go into, I need to get a new one. I'm running out of my blotting dust. Look at that sad little blotting dust. I'm gonna go into the blotting dust. I have oily skin, and if you think oily skin can't wear creams, you're wrong. You just need to get blotting dust to set where you're the most oily, which for me is the tops of my cheeks, and then I'll bring it under my eyes just to help with setting. Same over here. Bring it around your high texture zones, and you're done. But if you feel like, powder will always change the consistency of your makeup, and it doesn't matter. It just will, okay? I used, let's see, hold on. I think I made a comment here. Okay, what colors are your correctors again? All right, yes, Aspen is on my redness. If you have deep rosacea that's more purple, get June and prep with that. Or message me. Mango also works. But also you could go and get a demi if you want to. And that would be G1 would probably be the best one. Anyways, Suede lip liner for hyperpigmentation, Daylily 50% off, so it's $8. Okay, I'm gonna take that detail brush here, putting it on the edge, and I'm gonna go right here under my lip. Instead of outer lining, we're gonna outer buff, and we're gonna add a shadow. Do you see that shadow I added? Just adding a little Gomez Adams right there, all right? And then you can even go right here and really accentuate that Cupid's bow. It's a pretty area. I'm gonna go into this extra bright color, it's Versailles, and I'm gonna go right here. And I mean, you don't even see it on the brush, but you'll see it on my face. All right, and we're just gonna buff that outside of that contour. All right, use your finger, tap this out of it, tap, tap, tap. You don't want it to look like liner. You want it to look like a shadow. And this is gonna make your lips look like they curl a little bit if that's what you wanna do. It's up to you. And then we're gonna go into my favorite lip liner, which is Renaissance. It is not part of the sale. If you are, I pushed MAC Half Red for a long time. They discontinued it. Now you can go and get Renaissance. It's $16. It looks super scary. And we're just gonna line our lips, and we're gonna stay as close to the edge as possible without outer lining. Outer lining, a lot of people do it to make their lips look bigger. It just looks like you drew outside of your lips. It doesn't make them look bigger. I see people do it all the time. They try to bring it onto their lip. You can see the edge of a lip. Anyway, you're gonna go as close to the edge as possible. Grabbing it again, doing the same thing here. Edge. I have my lip tricks. I am not doing it today. We're just gonna line. Okay? Lining the lips. Now I'm gonna go to that top layer, to that Daylily that I use on my cheeks and under my eyes. We're gonna take that Daylily and I'm gonna use it as our lipstick. This is why I prefer it over Demi. I get asked all the time, why don't you use the cream correctors? They're one-trick ponies, and I want a palette that's the most bang for my buck, okay? And Daylily is a bang for your buck right now at $8. All right, I mix it in with that Renaissance color. I'm gonna take our Diamonds Are Forever. This was part of the sale that was last month. If you got it, good for you. But it is I'm almost out. But you're just gonna go over, because Daylily is a satin finish, it can look really drying on the lips. So you can take a gloss, you can take an oil, you can take this bad boy. I love this stuff. I keep this in I have so many of these floating around everywhere. They're so everywhere. But it adds just a little bit of frost, and it's a really pretty color, and that's my makeup. That's my makeup on this crazy long live. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Okay. Okay. Who has questions? Who has questions? I'm going to leave a little bit of time for questions. But that's my live. Sometimes makeup makes your hair look better. My hair doesn't look good. But I'm going to go to the dump like this. But I did 2 different styles of eyeshadow. Over here I did the gradient look, which gives a really pretty bronzy color. If you want to have... I'm going to go Mormon Housewives on this. You know, at their intro, they all look so bronzy. Like if you want JLo Glow eyeshadow, go and get Spell, grab Foxy, and layer them. This, and then I've got Butterscotch up here. This is a really beautiful latte look. This right here is such a pretty latte look, using Spell underneath. So pretty. I did the same colors over here. I just didn't bring that Spell as far in as I did over here. Like here I packed it all over and brought it out and up. Over here it's just right here. Both look good, and both are the same colors. I have a little bit of sis on the inside. You don't even have to do that part. You absolutely, okay? But this is a really, I mean, come on. Once I put the colors on, horrible. Oh, you poor thing. This does not look horrible. I don't give a crap what you say. This looks good. This looks good. My hair, not so much, but my makeup looks good. And my skin texture is creating flecks of glow. I didn't have to add any shimmer anyway on my face to add this glow. Traditional makeup doesn't do this. It just doesn't. And I think creating creams that are foundational coverage. I have a very thin amount of highly pigmented makeup on. That's the difference. You take highly pigmented makeup so you don't have to have so much on your skin. Makeup moves. It's makeup, not magic. That's any makeup. If you're in the high heat, if you're in humidity, you will have maintenance. It will change. But I'm just saying, like, makeup, I feel better than I did when I started. I didn't feel bad. I've never said I was ugly without makeup, but I do feel better with it. And me feeling better makes everybody's day better in my house. Let me tell you that. Like, Tell me my house is messy with my makeup on. Don't tell me my house is messy without my makeup on, because that's two different Amandas that you're gonna get. Just critique me when I've got my makeup on. I feel better. So, little tips and tricks on how to add lift, add fullness without going to the doctor. Okay. I line my lips with Renaissance, not my contour, but you can. And maybe that's what I'll do next week. I will be here live. I might be a little sad. My daughter's going to camp on Sunday. I'll only have one here at the house for a little bit, but I will do my makeup using the 4 basics. I will correct with the basics. It's a palette of purpose, but I will do my makeup with maybe a palette 8. Palette 4 is just so hard, but a palette 8, it'll have some eyeshadows in it, but I did Renaissance as my lip liner, not my contour, but my under eye corrector and my lower layer of blush, Daylily, Daylily, Daylily. But if you want this shine, diamonds are forever. This is cheaper than Tom Ford. Tom Ford is $40, this is $25. But cream makeup that's highly pigmented, that's at Shakira, I'll take it. I can't shake my butt like Shakira, but I can have what my hair looks wet, but whatever. Okay. This is natural. I would never do this on purpose. This is natural. This is what it does. And then it just starts clumping together throughout the day. This is my natural. It's not curly. I'm not allowed to call it kinky hair. I don't know what I'm supposed to call it because it's not curly, but it's not straight. I call it kinky. There's not a single curl here. It's all just, so I don't know what to call it. Oh man, I do need the makeup for myself. Okay, again, makeup is for you. Anybody who tells you you don't need makeup isn't walking in your shoes, and they don't have a place there. So I always say this, and I say this to my family too. If someone doesn't have your phone number, their opinion does not matter. It doesn't matter if they do have your phone number, but especially people who don't even have your phone number have no right to tell you what you're doing is right or wrong. Okay. All right. So that's my makeup. I will be back next Monday. I will do some I'm going to do a latte look this week. I'm going to write it down on my list of my stuff. We're going to do another latte look. I did one a while ago. It's been over a year. So it's time to do another latte look. I don't know, maybe I should call it something else. But both of these looks, they look very similar, but they also look a little far apart. But I'm going to do a latte look this week, and that's my makeup. Aloha in my junky shirt. Okay, after this live ends, leave a comment on the tutorial you'd like to see if you lasted this long. I'd love to hear what you would like to see with makeup. I don't do hair tutorials because yikes. I also get a lot of hate for calling my hair kinky. I don't know what to tell you. It is. But that's it. That's my live. Cheers. I hope everybody has a happy and safe Independence Day. We all get to enjoy Independence Day. We independently get to complain about whatever we want on Independence Day. So cheers. Have a great day. Barbecue some ribs. Have a margarita with not a salt rim, a sugar rim. But yes, have a very happy, a very safe Independence Day. Be with your friends, your family. Just be happy. Have a great day.